One Zambia, One Nation, and a warm welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti. We take a look at the headlines. Reduced power generation at Luanzua worry government. Government commissions Kitwe Industrial Yard. Over 4,000 children benefiting from Merry Meals in Eastern Province. Plus, church pledges support towards fighting climate change. Zanis News in detail. Government has expressed concern with the reduced power generation at Luanzua hydropower station situated in Mpulungu district of Northern Province. This came to light during an engagement with stakeholders in the energy sector that was chaired by Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao at Luanzua hydropower station. Patrick Kabwe gives us the report.
The adverse effects of climate change have not spared the generation of electricity at Luanzua hydropower plant in Mpulungu district of Northern Province, which has the generation capacity of 14.8 megawatts. However, the low flow of water from Luanzua stream has led to a reduction in generation of electricity to about 3 megawatts. Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao has since toured the power plant to appreciate the challenges being faced.
We came here after hearing such reports that the water levels have gone down, and we are trying to see if there can be measures that can be done to mitigate the situation that is happening here. So, of course, we came with a team of various technocrats.
Earlier, Mr. Mbao held a meeting with key stakeholders in the energy sector.
I want us to take this very, very seriously so that this project, if it's the feasibility, can be done quite fast. Because we are concerned with, for us, we are bringing a lot of economic benefits to the area.
The issues of cutting down trees has affected the environment negatively in that the recharge areas are being affected. These are areas where water is slowed down by vegetation when it's raining, so that there's enough time to infiltrate the ground, and underground, that's where this water is stored. So yes, there is some human interference.
Engineer Rod Chizuka is ZESCO Power Generation Deputy Director.
What the minister is proposing is in line with what the corporation is, the initiative the corporation is undertaking. That is to improve the generation capacity.
For Zanis in Mpulungu district, I am Patrick Kabwe.
In Eastern Province, Provincial Minister Peter Piri says the government will ensure the country's food security is enhanced by providing capacity to the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, to effectively handle the country's strategic food reserves. The minister was speaking in Chama district when he handed over the newly rehabilitated grain storage shed for the FRA. More in this report by Ulwasi Mtafela.
Enhanced food security demands that there should be adequate facility to store harvested grain that can be preserved over a long period of time, and the New Dawn government is demonstrating this commitment through the provision of new infrastructure to store harvested grain. In Chama district of Eastern Province, the Food Reserve Agency has just expanded its capacity to adequately manage the country's strategic food reserve by renovating the storage facility. Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri has handed over the facility to the Food Reserve Agency.
Considering how important FRA is promoting food security in the country, government opted to construct 91 sheds countrywide to increase storage capacity to 419,000 metric tons at a cost of $73 million.
Benin Kole is FIA Regional Property Coordinator.
Food Reserve Agency has continued constructing and rehabilitating storage facilities, as well as conducting effective grain management practices to ensure that grain is stored properly and quality is not compromised.
At the same event, the minister also handed over empowerment funds to community groups that have benefited from the Constituency Development Fund. The beneficiaries are from Chama North and South constituencies.
Loans and grants is just the beginning of an inclusive and sustainable development which will continue to flourish in this district and the whole country, benefiting you today and many generations to come.
Here, the Chama Town Council has promised to deliver CDF projects on time.
So many projects which have been initiated by the UPND government, and all those projects we really appreciate. There are those projects under CDF, which most of them they are running right up now. We appreciate the new Dawn government for having increased the CDF allocation.
Salute the new Dawn government on behalf of my fellow traditional leaders. And I want to assure you, guests of honor, sir, that as traditional leaders, we pledge to work with the government of the day, and we work together to enhance development in our district.
Later, Eastern Province Minister Peter Perry handed over newly built classroom infrastructure at 2 schools built under the CDF. Loba Simtafela, Zanis, Chama District, Eastern Province.
Zambia National Service Zanis Commander Maliti Solochi has ordered officers to refrain from engaging in politics but instead focus on working for the betterment of the country. Zanis reports that Lieutenant General Solochi urged the officers to continue upholding the values of loyalty to the government of the day and work towards achieving national development. He noted the need for officers to unite in contributing to building a food secure, more productive and effectively connected Zambia, which should boast of improved infrastructure assets. And Acting Chief of Legal, Kenel Fanaka Chidakwa, who is also chairperson of the Intake 02 of 2003 officers, said the intake is the most diverse and cosmopolitan intake in the Zambia National Service, comprising of 40 officers.
Challenging to continue upholding the values of an personal development of the government of the day. We expect you at all costs to refrain from even the slightest involvement in active politics, but instead to continue pressing focus on working tirelessly for the betterment of our country. While extending this conversation to each and every one of you, in all the directions to continue serving our nation with the same unwavering commitment, zeal and patriotism that have characterized the journey thus far. On behalf of the constituency of we have the Zambia National Service Declaration, which decides 20 years ago, we the officers of the constituency to swear an Almighty God and to swear and sincerely declare that we will be faithful and allegiance to the people of Zambia, that during our continued service in the Zambia National Service, we will preserve, protect, defend the constitution of Zambia as a well-established, and we will obey all the orders of the President of Zambia and all officers that have placed above us, and subject ourselves to all the laws of the service.
And in Southern Province, Provincial Minister Credo Nanjua has handed over a tractor worth 465,000 kwacha to Mumwesi Youth Club of Choma District, procured under the Youth Multi-Sectoral Empowerment Program implemented by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts. Speaking at a handover ceremony held at the provincial administration, Mr. Nanjua reiterated government's commitment to supporting young people with funds to engage in viable entrepreneurship activities. Kostak Mudenda has details in the following report.
In an effort to foster economic transformation and create jobs in the country, youths have been identified as one of the key groupings to achieve the 2030 agenda of making Zambia a prosperous middle income. This is the reason government has introduced various youth empowerment initiatives. In Choma, Mumwesi Youth Club have become the latest to receive a tractor that will be used in timber processing venture. Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua has handed over the tractor to the youth club.
Government facilitated for the procurement of a tractor and trailer at the cost of 465,000 800 kwacha, as well as the wood miser at 134,200 kwacha. Today we are happy to hand over this empowerment to Mumwesi Youth Club. In addition, the group will receive 150,000 kwacha as working capital to help them launch their projects.
Mumwesi Youth Club is among the 6 youth clubs in Southern Province benefited under the 2021 Multi-Sectoral Youth Empowerment Program.
The Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts made available a 2 million kwacha as funding for the multi-sectoral youth empowerment programs here in Southern Province to empower youths through loans for various projects and initiatives. Among the beneficiaries, government awarded a loan of 750,000 kwacha to Mumwesi Youth Club of Joma.
The benefiting youths are grateful to government.
We are thankful to the government of His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So having been empowered with this equipment and indeed with working capital, we are promising that we are going to put in our very best so that we create more jobs.
Costa Kimudenda, Zanis, in Joma District, Southern Province.
Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Minister Elias Mubanga has commissioned the Kitwe Industrial Yard. Over 2,500 entrepreneurs who will be operating at the industrial yard have so far been empowered by the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC. The industrial yard will also host 29 SMEs and cooperatives operating mainly in agro-processing and value addition in other agricultural commodities. Let's get the details in the following report.
The government dream of turning Zambia into a middle-income economy through industrialization is slowly shaping up through the opening of industrial yards across the country. These industrial yards are supposed to promote production of a wide range of products for both the local and export markets. The Kitwe Industrial Yard has become the 4th to be commissioned this year. Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Minister Elias Mubanga commissioned the Kitwe Industrial Yard with a promise to financially empower SMEs and to provide them with market linkages.
I am therefore honored to be with you on this occasion where I am commissioning the Kitwe Industrial Yard, which will actually benefit the entire Copper Belt, especially the farmers, our small-scale farmers. The Kitwe Industrial Yard is very, very important, and it will transform the lives of our people in Kitwe and the entire Copper Belt. I am pleased to inform you that as a result of such profound partnership, 7 cooperatives, and I've been told there will be more which will be added to the 7 cooperative unions, with combined members up to 21,000 have been embodied to operate within the Kitwe Industrial Yard. This achievement underscores the Zambian government's commitment to the cooperative model as a powerful tool for inclusive economic growth.
And so far, CEC has empowered over 25,000 entrepreneurs who will be engaging in production of various value-added products at the industrial yard. CEC board chairperson is conscious of the need for production of globally competitive products.
The Kitwe Industrial Yard, which we proudly commissioned today, is more than just a physical space. It's the catalyst for transformation. We have finalized the onboarding of cooperatives and unions with diverse focus, ranging from maize processing and soft production to creation of fruit and dry vegetables, inclusive of soybeans. In our pursuit of economic empowerment, we are set to create 150,000 on-farm jobs within the selected cooperatives, and an additional 140 jobs in the industrial yard itself.
And African Development Bank, the funding agent for the project, notes that the industrial yard will ensure diversification on the Copper Belt.
This year, the Honorable Minister have been informed, will host cooperatives operating mainly in agro-processing and value addition to other agricultural commodities. This is a strategic direction that will contribute to the economic diversification of the Copper Belt province. The bank is fully aware that the Copper Belt province is predominantly a mining region, which contributes significantly to the GDP of Zambia. This year will provide opportunity for not only the province, but the entire country to diversify further its contributors to its GDP.
And Kwacha Member of Parliament Charles Mlenga wants the local people to benefit from the jobs that will be created.
Our humble appeal, Honorable Minister, is that let the people of Changadewat New Kitwe benefit from these jobs that are going to be created. It is estimated that 30 small and medium enterprises will participate right from our area, and we have opportunities across business loans from Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission and the Constituency Development Fund for purchase of equipment and for working capital. It is expected that this intervention will create at least 800 plus jobs.
The Industrial Yards Initiative have been replicated in 8 other districts where similar economic activities will be taking place. Liz Ngobeka reporting for Zanis in Quito.
Still in business news, in a bid to lessen the cutting down of trees for brick making, the Transforming Landscapes for Resilience and Development Trialed project in Mpika district has transformed 31 youths to engage into person, livestock and fisheries production initiative. Before the empowerment, the 31 youths of Chiponya village used to make bricks that were damaging to the environment. Peggy Coutinho gives us details in the following report.
31 youths have started keeping chickens, pigs and fish farming for income-generating activities under the Trialed project in Mpika district. The youths used to mold bricks for a living. The poultry and fish farming business is a diversification from brick making, a business they used to do but was harmful to the environment.
Initially this group used to mold blocks along the Ritmila stream, which you can just see that side. And we saw it to be an environmental hazard which needed to be controlled. And we engaged the group so that they can turn away from the destruction of the environment. And we supported them in the project, a livestock project.
Lutikila Integrated Livestock and Fisheries Project Chairperson Richard Mlenga says the project is climate change sensitive.
That's why I told you the menu if you want to let to fuisha mkulingana kwa wati turero pari climate change ukuresha kwa turebula fionse mfundo to hasta mutauni mulia twasa mukubika mfilimwa twetu abomfye fine tukwetele bafini value chain fakwe wati tatureputuka tatureshoti.
The youth group has passed on 75 chickens to other beneficiaries. Peggy Coutinho for Zanis in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba says diplomacy is cardinal in fostering peace, unity and understanding in a world marred with challenges. Mr. Sikumba noted that diplomacy has the potential to diffuse political tension and provide grounds to consolidate international relations. Mr. Sikumba said this in a speech read for him by Acting Permanent Secretary Vivian Glovo during the launch of the 3rd edition of the Diplomatic Fanfare held at Lusaka's showgrounds. And speaking earlier, Director in the Ministry of Tourism, Cultural and Traditional Affairs, Besi Chelemu, said the Diplomatic Fanfare is an annual event which gives an opportunity to missions accredited to Zambia to exhibit their cultural heritage. And the Deputy Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Siave Haidongo, who is Namibian High Commissioner to Zambia, thanks the Zambian government for organizing the 3rd edition of the Diplomatic Fanfare, saying that it is important as it helps to promote cultural exchange and tourism among countries. The Diplomatic Fanfare was held under the theme Promoting Cultural Diversity Through Diplomatic Integration.
diplomatic fanfare as a symbol of our collective commitment to peace, cooperation, and the pursuit of common goals. In our ever-connected world, diplomacy is no longer confined to the exclusive scope of diplomats and statesmen. Diplomacy is a collective endeavor involving citizens, businesses, artists, cultural ambassadors alike.
It is also an occasion to promote tourism and cultural knowledge exchanges between countries and peoples.
It is indeed an opportunity for the Zambian community to be able to mingle with the diplomatic community. Your Excellencies, allow me to take this opportunity to commend all for organizing this particular event at such a short notice. The theme for this year's diplomatic fanfare is promoting cultural diversity through diplomatic intervention.
In education news, more than 400,000 children aged between 4 and 18 years are benefiting from Mary's Meals Zambia feeding program in Eastern Province. Katete District Education Board Secretary Martha Kamunga has commended the partnership with the non-governmental organization as it has contributed to the increased enrollment levels. Ms. Kamunga was speaking during the commemoration of this year's World Porridge Day in Eastern Province.
It was a joyous moment for these pupils to celebrate this year's World Porridge Day commemoration in Katete. Their happy faces show a lot of appreciation for the feeding program implemented by Mary's Meals in various districts of Eastern Province. The ceremony was graced by Katete District Education Board Secretary Martha Kamunga.
The program for Mary's Meals with regard to the strengthening primary education capacity, especially for the rural schools, aligning well with the meaning of education goal as enshrined in the Zambia 8th National Development Plan. The 8th National Development Plan has a focus to improve human development through expanding access and the socio-economic transformation for improved livelihood. This is thought to be achieved through improving the quality of all forms of education, including early childhood education, primary and secondary. A child that is hungry cannot perform. A child that cannot perform cannot excel in their education aspirations.
Mary's Meals Head of Strategic Partnership and Communications, Mazuva Mwinga, outlined how the feeding program is helping children in rural areas.
Our school feeding program in Zambia provides this porridge to more than 400,000 learners aged between 4 and 18 in 752 schools from 11 districts of Eastern Province. This meal, madam, this porridge, the one we call conference, has proven to be a simple wonder to the lives of school makers. It can be likened to a negative phrase, dynamite comes in small packages. We recognize that each person, madam, has a unique part to play in this mission of making sure children go to school without ever thinking of what they will eat when they are at school.
And Mpangwe Primary School Deputy Head Teacher Emma Ngolube commended the partnership with a non-governmental organization through the feeding program. For Zanis in Qatar. Katete District, Eastern Province.
We move to the Copperbelt Province, where Minister of Education Douglas Siakalima has urged training institutions to promote practical courses that can help graduates to survive on their own and contribute to the country's economic growth in future. Mr. Siakalima said this in a speech read on his behalf by Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo during a graduation ceremony for Edinburgh University held in Kitwe. Agrippa Silumbwe has more in the following report.
They walked in majestically to confer academic certificates to their deserving graduates at the third graduation ceremony held at Harakan Barracks Hall in Kitwe. Edinburgh University has this year offloaded over 200 graduates in different fields.
As you move forward into the next phase of your lives, I encourage you to continue to pursue the passion with the same level of dedication and enthusiasm that brought you here today. And the knowledge you have gained here, and not just for personal gain, but for the betterment of society as a whole.
And government took advantage of this platform to aid the learning institutions to promote innovative courses that will enable graduates to contribute positively to the economic growth of the country.
Encourage entrepreneurship education to foster innovation and create job opportunities. Support programs that teach students to start and manage their own businesses and create a workforce that drives economic growth and innovation. Ensure that education is accessible to all segments of the population.
This occasion is special. Thank you for a very inspirational and motivating speech. We also extend our gratitude to all those who have supported us in practical ways.
In the end, it was a moment of celebration for the graduates. Reporting, I'm Agrippa Silumbwe.
Now, Southern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary has challenged nursing training institutions to uphold and maintain the required standards of training nurses and midwives in the country. Speaking at the 9th Southern Province Combined Graduation Ceremony held at Macha School of Nursing in Choma, Yolanta Malunga says the country's health sector cannot be efficient without competently trained nurses, midwives and doctors. We have details in the following report.
A boost to the health sector with an addition of over 800 skilled personnel. The visibly excited graduating nurses and midwives at the 2023 Southern Province Combined Graduation Ceremony for 5 nursing schools have stepped into the health profession with joy. Southern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Yolanta Malunga graced the event.
Government has placed great importance on training nurses, midwives and other health professionals. Provision of quality health care services to the Zambian people cannot be accomplished without having adequate and competent trained nurses, midwives, doctors and other health professionals. We are aware of the efforts the private sector is playing in educating nurses and midwives. I would like to urge you all training institutions to observe the required standards in the training of nurses and midwives, enroll acceptable numbers in order to consider quality students nurse to graduate with the necessary knowledge, skill and competencies in order to deliver effectively.
Southern Province Health Director wants the graduating students to uphold their vows in delivering quality health services to the people.
So we expect and hope that as we go out there, we are going to preach and do what we are.
Macha College of Nursing and Midwifery hosted the graduation ceremony.
The training of nurses is not only classroom or theoretical, but the major part is the practical component in order to produce competent nurses and midwives.
However, Chief Macha is concerned with the accommodation challenge for nursing students.
We get a situation whereby the nurses are paying a lot of money, but they get very little out of their money. They must be properly accommodated. Situation where nurses who are actually sanitation ambassadors
to be subjected to that kind of environment.
And the graduating nurses have assured government of their commitment to serve the Zambian people.
Graduating nurses and midwives pledge that we will not allow mother or neonate die in the course of duties. We will work toward reducing maternal, neonatal, and infant mortality.
The graduating schools are Macha, Choma, Mukuni, Livingston, and Gateway to Better Living Colleges of Nursing and Midwifery. Kalunga Msonda, Zanis News, Choma District, Southern Province.
In Muchinga Province, Mafinga District Education Board Secretary Belvin Mwale has handed over a 1x3 classroom block at Mwenewiya Primary School in Mululu Ward yesterday. And Mafinga District Commissioner Boyd Kaonga, who officiated at the handover, said the structure has been rehabilitated at a cost of 150,000 kwacha using the 2022 CDF disaster component. Details by Miriam Komwenda.
Infrastructure is critical in ensuring that pupils learn in a conducive environment. In Mafinga District in Uchinga Province, Nachisetu Primary School is among other learning institutions in the district that have benefited from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund under the disaster component through the rehabilitation of this 1x2 classroom block. Mafinga District Commissioner Boyd Kaonga, who commissioned and handed over the project, has called for proper utilization of the facility.
I am glad to inform you that this classroom block that we are commissioning today is fully stocked with new desks and is readily available for use even tomorrow. The commission of the rehabilitated 1x2 classroom block at Nachisetu will improve the learning environment of our children. As Mafinga Town Council was the custodian of the CDF and we were there to make sure that the money is put to good use.
Both the District Education Board Secretary Belvin Mwale and the pupils are elated with the development.
Let me implore all the teachers, the members and the people surrounding this school to guard these facilities jealously, as they have come at a huge cost. We would like to give thanks to the government for building a classroom block.
Meanwhile, the area councillor Derek Kaonga and the traditional leadership in the area have an appeal.
The school is from other school.
This is one of the oldest schools in this area. Therefore, we want it to be upgraded.
Miriam Komwenda reporting for Zanis in Nachisetu area, Mafinga District.
In other news, Gender Division Permanent Secretary in the Office of the President, Mainga Kabika, says President Hakainde Hichilema is committed to see more women taking up leadership positions. Ms. Kabika said this can be seen through the strengthening of the gender machinery by placing it under the Office of the President for direct supervision. She added that the division has also seen increased budget allocation in its annual budget in the last 2 years, signifying enhanced coordination in the promotion of gender equality and equity. Zanis reports that Ms. Kabika was speaking during the When Females Lead event in Lusaka today. And APSA Managing Director Ms. Ngamelu, who is also Executive Director and founder of the When Females Lead, said having women on boards of directors improves companies' strategic decision-making, leading them to consider wider ranges of options.
I would like to encourage all of you to come out. Please do not fear. And also do not come out late. Come and participate in politics. Just to give you a tinkle of our statistics. Right now, we have only 15.2% women in parliament. That's not good enough. We only have 6 females in cabinet. That's not good enough. We have 1,800 positions of councillors, and we only have approximately 150 females from 1,800 plus positions of councillors. You see how badly we are doing. But here we are, educated women, confident women, people who are able to do it. But for us to choose, you know, for the president to appoint, he needs a pool to choose from. But he doesn't have enough. Even choosing women to be in commissions. I'm sure you've been hearing appointments and so forth. He's really trying his level best, but he needs you to come out.
The reason why we thought of women in the boardroom for us was how do we make sure women get the seat on the board? Because when you look at the companies in Zambia, many companies, maybe 9 out of 10, a number of them, they will have maybe 90% are men and 10% are women. So you only be 1 or 2 alone in the boardroom. A number of them, there are a few exceptions, but a number of them are actually men. And we're saying, if you have a board and a company that is not well diversified, the diversity does not exist, it means the decisions they make will all be similar. But if there's a woman there will be diversity. Because
in Luapula Province, Mansa Diocese Bishop Patrick Chisanga says the church will continue putting in place measures aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change in the country. Speaking during the celebration of the diocese's pastoral theme in Mansa, Bishop Chisanga emphasized that everyone should get involved in protecting Mother Earth, which is a common home to all. We have more in the following report by Kennedy Chomba.
The Catholic Church in Mansa Diocese is taking the fight against climate change seriously by dedicating the entire year to activities aimed at mitigating the effect of climate conditions. Today, the Catholic Church in Mansa Diocese has celebrated a pastoral theme called Care and Protection of Mother Earth, Our Common Home, which saw Catholics from the entire province attend the event.
Kashina tukwata umulimo wa kusungilila chino chalo apo tuwaikala. Ifwenga Mansa Diocese na tumono kutila ukuyemba n'obusuma bwa chalo na fileluba. Kachecho chitupamfishe ukutila tuweshe okuwombera pamo ukuchimfya filafyonse fileleta ububi kuchalo apo tuwaikala fwe bantonse.
Government was represented by Mansa Mayor Njiko Msuku, who commended the Catholic Church for joining the fight against climate change in the country.
The government of the Republic of Zambia is always grateful to the mutual collaboration that exists between her and the Catholic Church. You should all know that the government and the Church have the human person at heart. We are here to reaffirm the cordial relationship that continues to exist between us and the Church. Thank you so much, Bishop Patrick Chisanga, for this invitation to this very important celebration of reaffirming our responsibility that we have towards the care and protection of Mother Earth.
I therefore wish to commend the Diocese of Mansa, under the leadership of Reverend Bishop Chisanga, Patrick Chisanga, for coming up with a workable theme for each year. May Jehovah God be with you always and continue to labor in God's vineyard.
Meanwhile, Elizabeth Mushiri, a member of the congregation, has urged fellow Christians to be taking good care of their environment. Kenneth Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Mansa District.
Finally, in the news, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, says government has approved the purchase of earth-moving machines to improve the road network in chiefdoms. The minister was speaking in Namwala district at the Shimunenga traditional ceremony held in Mala area in Chief Mungaila's chiefdom. We have more in the following report.
This is Mara village, where Shimunenga traditional ceremony is being celebrated by the Ira people of Namwala. Dancing, singing, crafts and artifacts accompany the cultural and traditional passage on through generations. Minister of Rural Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, graced this year's Shimunenga traditional ceremony.
Traditional ceremonies are an integral part of our national development process. They are not just a reservoir of cultural expression, but also work to unify a country. And this is the reason why, in his wisdom, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, decided that he was going to further broaden the Constituency Development Fund by size and by extent from where it stood at 27.8 million kwacha to 30.6 million kwacha. I can confirm to you, Your Royal Highness, that under my hand, under this minister of yours, we have approved Namwala constituency to pay and buy earth-moving equipment so that you can attend to your roads at local level.
And Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua also used the platform to assure the people government's commitment to resolve their challenges.
To make mention that traditional ceremonies also are a source of unity, which in turn restores the development agenda of our nation. I know Your Royal Highness, I agree with you. The Mala main road, which my government has continued to patch up annually, is another area of concern to the provincial administration. Namsonde Mala Road shall continue to work with your chiefdom and another chiefdom in the province.
The Ila people of Chief Mungaira boasts of having the highest number of livestock that its population, made an appeal to government.
Mainza akalashika. The rain season is just by the corner. Mukwakwa wezu ulafwa tatuloya kushika umasena amwi kwamba tulohe ukuze mbuto uba sambale mbuto batatuletela kono ati budimi tabuhili.
Gifty Banji, Zanis in Namwala, Southern Province.
And that is all we had for you in this edition of Zanis News. But before we go, we take a look at the headlines once again. Reduced power generation at Luanzua worry government. Government commissions Kitwe Industrial Yard. Over 4,000 children benefiting from Merry Meals in Eastern Province. Plus, church pledges support towards fighting climate change. Thank you so much for joining us. That is all we had for you. Pleasant viewing.